Microsoft Excel's 2010 Goal Seek enables us to find an input value needed to achieve a certain goal or objective. In essence, we know what answer we want, but we're not too sure what value we need to make the result happen. Here's a very simple example. I live in a community with an HOA and we're permitted 3 animals. Currently, I own 2 animals. So I know I can have 1 more animal to make 3 animals. So on my Excel sheet, I literally have A4 plus B4 equals C4. So if I say, hey, I need 5 animals, the total is 7. Okay, that's great. But let's have Microsoft Excel's Goal Seek find out how many more animals we can have. So on the Data tab, in the What If analysis, we're going to click on Goal Seek. Right now, my set cell, which is my result cell, I want to set it to 3. I'm permitted 3 animals by changing however many more animals I can have. Now we know the answer is 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. Let's see if Goal Seek can figure that out. Hey, target value is 3, and it found 3. And it said, oh, if you set B4 to 1, you'll get the answer you want. Cool. Here's a little bit more difficult of a problem. We have an original price of some object of $30 and the discount of 10%, so we know we have to pay $27. But let's say I really want to pay $25. What would the discount have to be to pay $25? Well, I have Goal Seek. So in the What If analysis, Goal Seek, my set cell is what I want it to be, which is $25, by changing the discount. So I want to know what discount I have to make the price I pay $25. And Goal Seek found a solution. It's 17%. But I can do it another way. Let's say sales price, again, data, What If analysis, Goal Seek. I want it to be $25. Whoops. Yes, $25 by not changing the discount this time, but by changing the original price, which is $30. How would I get 25 from there? And Goal Seek found a solution. The original price has to be $27.78 with a 10% discount to have the sales price of $25. So on that one, I showed you both by changing the discount we can find $25, or changing the original price we can find $21 or $25. Let's try one more example, a little bit more harder here. On my third example, I actually have trying to figure out the price of a house that I can quote-unquote afford. My payment, if I start off with a house of $250,000 with a down payment of 20%, my loan amount is going to be 20% minus my original house payment, or the house cost is $200,000. My loan is going to be the typical 30 months, and let me explain something here. My term is really 360. It is not 360 months. I added the months by formatting it, just like the $ is actually not here. It's just 250,000. That's formatting. This month is just a custom format. It's to make it easier to read. And then the interest rate, and by using the PMT function, Excel calculated the payment. So if I bought a house for $250,000 with a 20% down payment at 5% interest for 30 years, my house payment would be $1,073. But let's try and figure out what interest rate I would have to make my payment $900. So my result is going to be $900 payment. So Goal Seek will find it for us. The value is negative because it is a payment, negative 900. By changing what interest it could be. and I'm going to say OK. And GoalSeek immediately found a solution. The interest rate would have to be 3.52% to have a payment of $900. All right, cool. Let's cancel out of that and go to the original values. Let's see what down payment would have to be, down payment percentage would have to be for the payment to be $900. So again, what if analysis, GoalSeek, we're going to have negative 900 by changing this time the down payment percent. And we're going to say OK. We would have to have a 33% down payment to get at 5% interest for our loan payment to be $900. Here's what I want to show you, why it had to be negative. It is a payment. If I accidentally said GoalSeek, do a $900 payment, because it's cash, and I change, I don't know, interest rate, we're going to go and go and go, and it's going to say, hey, GoalSeek may not have found a solution. Well, it's pretty much impossible to have a positive that they would give you money for taking out a loan. That's why GoalSeek could not find a solution. If you run across that ever, try changing your value to a negative number, and I bet you anything you'd probably find your solution by changing interest rate, and bingo, it finds it. Even this example is relatively uncomplicated. So let me show you one more example that's a little bit more complicated from here. So let's pretend that we own a widget company and we have some fixed costs, we have some variable costs per unit, and the per unit cost is spread out over here. So if we make 100,000 units, then the variable cost per unit is 52 cents. If we have 200,000 units, it's 50 cents, so on and so forth, that these variable costs are very variable per unit. Widgets produced 500,000, total cost is 1.4 million, cost per unit, our markup price, and so our selling price is $4.37. So what's our profit? $727,000. Well, let us see how many units we would have to produce if we wanted to profit $750,000. All right, get out your scratch pad and figure that out. Remember that when you change the widgets produced, you've got to change the variable cost over here. That makes it more complicated. But with GoalSeek, all I need to do is say what profit I want. So under Data, What If Analysis, GoalSeek, my set sell is going to be $750,000 by changing however many widgets I produce. So I'm just going to click on Widgets Produced, and I'm going to see if GoalSeek can find the answer. And it's working on it. It found something. It may not have found a solution exact, but it's pretty darn close to what I was looking for. All right, let's cancel out of that. Let's try one more thing. GoalSeek. Let's see if we can find $1 million profit by any chance. It found it very quickly because it's an exact amount. So if we produce 2.8 million widgets at the variable cost of 26, which if we scroll, we're going to say okay. If we scroll down here, here's $1 million. It picked that up. We're going to be able to have the cost per unit is 69 cents, our selling price is 104, and we make a profit of $1 million. Now let's try one more example. I put back the widgets produced to $500,000. And we still want to make a profit of $1 million. What would our markup have to be? So again, let's use the power of GoalSeek and say our profit, we want it to set it to $1 million by changing our markup. And we're going to see, wow, GoalSeek found it immediately. Our markup would have to be 59%. Let's review. GoalSeek is a what-if analysis tool that, given a result, finds the input we need to make that happen. We use GoalSeek in several different examples, some more complex than others. There are times GoalSeek can't find an exact solution. And the times that GoalSeek can't find a solution at all could possibly